Good morning, everybody. How you doing this fine Thursday? We have news that Matthew McConaughey may be running for the governor of Texas without his shirt, of course. John Travolta and Bruce Willis are back together. Some very hot Cheetos drama and much, much more coming up right now on The Morning Laugh.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, man, I am so excited for this show today. We are going to have a good time. Brian is in the bathroom, so give him just a few minutes. I'm sorry to say that. But we do have a couple of great comedians here in the studio with us. We have Chris Wineland.
Hey.
And then we have Mike James at the helm.
Hello, everybody.
He's the captain of the ship. We're not gonna lie. He's the admiral. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going, Joshua?
Hey, I'm wide awake.
Are you?
Really?
I am. It's I guess I don't deserve sleep is what God has been telling me the last few nights. So how are you guys feeling?
Pretty okay. I must say.
Well, yeah. I'm in that literally the same thing. I've not been able to sleep. Me and Micah both just have not been able to sleep this week, but I like it. You just embrace it. You say, hey.
I don't know if this helps at all, you guys, but I've been sleeping like a baby. I mean, I just slept like a rock.
I think we just take turns. Honestly, I think we just take turns. Like they say that humans as a whole, we all weigh the same. We just trade pounds with other people as we lose and gain weight. Maybe that's the same thing with sleep, is that we all just trade the same hours of sleep.
Hold on. I've never heard that in my life. What?
Heard that it's like this the old saying, like if I lose 10 pounds, my friend's gonna gain 10 pounds. Like we all share the same 10 pounds.
No,
nobody's ever heard that but you, Josh.
I've never heard that. What friends are you hanging out with? Well, if I lose the 10 pounds.
Every time you eat a piece of cake, somebody else vomits. What's going on?
Cindy has uncontrollable bulimia. I don't understand. She's not even eating that cake, and it's coming out. I don't get it.
Apologies for those of you eating breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
So sorry. I was listening to a podcast last night, and apparently the number one viewers listen during lunch, and it's like a running podcast, and they said the most disgusting thing. I don't even know if I have to say it. It was just like, what? And basically it was there's an issue when you're running marathons. You could have this issue where all of a sudden you have to suddenly go to the bathroom, and so the lady was sharing a story about how the runner in front of her had explosive diarrhea just right there on the track in front of everybody. And she couldn't handle it. And then she just kept running. She ran the whole time. So on the podcast, they were like, well, most people listen to our show at lunch, so we're so sorry. That's all they said.
I like to think that it's a running podcast where they record themselves while they're running.
Yeah.
When you said running podcast, I thought you meant one that's still happening.
It's always going on.
It's running, Not every podcast is still running, so
it's like the prayer room in IHOP. It's always 24/7. Someone's there.
That's right. Yeah. No, I should have clarified. This was a marathon podcast, and it is running.
So Josh, if in your world or in your theory there, if you go to Subway, then I lose a foot long worth of weight.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man. Speaking of Subway, I went to Subway last night. You guys, listen. This is it's gonna have to turn into a joke somehow. I don't know what. So I go to Subway, and there's not. First of all, I go to the drive-thru because I don't go inside Subway because I've had people be like, Jared, and I'm like, okay, can't do that, not anymore at least, So I go through. There's a drive-through Subway near my house. I go to the drive-through. Nobody's in line. And there's the kid taking my order. He's either brand new or like really high, or both. Probably both, honestly. Anyway, so it takes forever. I was probably in line for 30 to 40 minutes while he was making 3 sandwiches and get everything. So I would get up to the front, get up to the window, and we have to correct a few things. And at the end, he takes my credit card to go pay for it, and he goes, how big of a tip do you want me to put on there? I was like, what?
How big of a tip?
It wasn't even like, do you want me to put a tip on there? Would you like to leave a tip? No, he's like, how big of a tip do you want to put on there?
Wait a minute. So how are you paying? By card?
Card.
And he asked you verbally how big of a tip? Because wow, that's bad.
I don't know. Maybe he's new or something. Well, you know what's crazy? Every $1 that you spend on a tip, Josh, I get $1 back. I think is how it works. Yeah, it's so weird.
Well, that's why you're so poor, is because I'm a real stingy. I'm a real Ebenezer. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm not. I'm pretty generous. No, I was like $2, I guess, whatever. But it was just so, because he was just like, how big of a tip you want me to put on there? As if I was at I was at a Ruth Chris, and and he had just done like a Bananas Foster presentation.
I don't know. Can you weigh the sandwich? I'll give you 10% of that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that strategy has worked, where he's like, how big of a tip? And they're like, I was going to pay $1, but let's do 100.
Yeah, right. Or because I mean, when I go to Subway, I hate to say this, I don't tip them.
Yeah, no, I've never
tipped the guy at McDonald's either.
Yeah,
I've never thought of tipping them.
I
think I'm with you, Josh. I like to be generous and I like to tip. I think it's important to tip, but I think that there are some jobs that it's like, I don't know if you deserve the same tip as everybody else.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yesterday we had a kid come and pull the weeds out of our yard. 12 years old. He had his own bucket full of tools, brought his own trash bag, and like just crushed it. And we gave him like a really good tip. And I was like, that kid deserves a tip. The kid that took 40 minutes to make 3 sandwiches and is very high at Subway doesn't deserve a tip.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know. What do you our listeners right now, guys, write into us. Let us know. Have you ever had a weird experience with a server asking for a tip, or something unusual that has ever happened with you while you're at a restaurant?
Yeah, and I personally would like to know: is there any business that you don't tip? So is it something like obviously fast food, or
Yeah, doctors. You don't go to the doctor he's like, okay, pull up your pants, and you're like, okay, hey doc, good job. Here's $10. Like,
here's $10.
That was real gentle.
Yeah, because
so when you're at the dentist, you don't pull up your pants?
No, I just go in. I go in like when I Winnie the Pooh it, like right away. I just go straight in. I'm like, just
Winnie the Pooh it. Well, here's the thing. If you start tipping everybody, then you're the mafia. Because that's what the mafia did. Like, all right, here's 50.
Oh my gosh. So you've been doing these marathons, Chris, and you're listening to not only are you doing the marathons and running, you're listening to running podcasts. That's pretty deep into the whole genre of that lifestyle.
Yeah, well, I'm getting into it, but I'll be honest with you. I have a moral dilemma right now with my second marathon, and the reason is because it's a virtual marathon, which I hadn't done yet, and I'm excited.
I've run those before.
This is the whole marathon. They're like, okay, Chris, we need to see you, and he's just like,
I'm actually running one right now. I got to check in with them in a second.
Chris, you're in. We can see the door behind you. What are you talking? But I know I'm running.
Well, well, yeah. So the way that it works with a virtual marathon, I wish it was Zoom. That'd be hilarious. But you track it with your phone, so you can either use their app where they track it in live time and then track the whole thing, or you use your own running app and then you just tell them how long you've been running and what time. Well, my problem is with the Valley Fever. I just got a call back from my doctor, and she said that I'm completely healed now. Valley Fever is gone, but I'm supposed to run it before May 30th, and I don't have enough training time. Like that's impossible. So my plan is right now is to run a mile a day for 13 days, and then just put that time together, and then win this medal because I want the medal. So.
But it's a marathon.
It's a half marathon, so 13.1 miles. So really, I can do like 6 or 7 days of 2 miles each, or I can just do 1 mile a day. And so it's a bit of a moral dilemma.
That's awesome.
So, yeah,
well, I mean, the way that you just put it, because like if we take like all the time I was in the Army, I mean, I've ran several mega marathons, and I don't have any medals to actually I do have. I mean, I have Army medals, but I don't have any. I don't have any real medals to show for it. Just the heroic ones the Army gave me. But that's it. That's all I have.
Well, then you need to do this, because I'll tell you something I didn't expect. They mailed it in to me, so I knew I was getting a shirt and stuff. Well, guess what they sent me already? The medal. I have the medal.
Oh my gosh.
So now I don't even have to run, but I don't know. I'm so torn by this. I can't do a virtual one again.
That doesn't have your name on it, does it?
No, it doesn't. But they have a lot of faith in me.
So I think that to alleviate the moral dilemma, just don't run. And when you show people that medal, say, "Listen, I didn't run. I stole this from," and then you look kind of cool and tough because you stole something. Not only did you steal it, you stole it from a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, that's a good point. I said I stole it from somebody who just finished a half marathon. He couldn't outrun me at that point. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll keep everyone posted. On a technical note, we're still going to me and my buddy that signed up for it, we're still going to run 13.1 miles in probably July after we had enough time to. So I am going to do it. I'm just not able to do it in the time frame. So I'm not a terrible human, right?
I will point this out. Anyone that's listening in to you, Mike and Chris, right now. That listen, Michael Phelps has won 28 gold medals. Wow. So if you take me and Michael Phelps, we have averaged 14 gold medals each.
That's good. I never thought of it like that.
I don't want to brag, but I have the same medical degree as Bill Gates.
Mike. Anyways.
Oh, yes. Mike, I have a question, because every week you talk to us about something that you've been watching. And so I'm super curious as to if you've been watching anything this week. I forget what it was last week. But
it's funny because I don't feel like I watch that much TV, but Brian, who's in the bathroom, everybody, told me this week, I was mentioning a couple shows to him, and he goes, how are you watching all these shows? And the truth is, I usually watch, I'll binge watch it. So I'll watch a whole season in a few hours one day. But I have been watching, one thing I've been watching is funny. It's when I go to bed at night, I usually just watch some stupid YouTube cat videos or something just to get my mind off the day's stuff so I can go to bed kind of in a decent mood. So I sleep better. That's the secret, by the way, guys. But lately I've been watching
a go-to cat video channel. You're like, this is the best cat video channel on YouTube. Get me ready.
It's actually usually not cat videos, but lately it's been, I stumbled across this thing on YouTube where there's just ton of videos of, how everybody has their doorbell cameras and their home video cameras outside. They've been recording UPS deliveries and Amazon deliveries. So there's a compilation of failed deliveries, and some of them are hilarious. a lot of them I feel bad for the delivery person. There's one where the guy's delivering a package and he's bending over to take a picture of it, kind of squatting down, take a photo of the picture to send, and he squats right over a cactus. And then he's just hopping around the porch for a while.
That's like a cart. That sounds like a cartoon.
I know, it's ridiculous. Most of them, sadly, are just bad deliveries, like people just throwing packages from the window of their vehicle and breaking a window or something with them. But that's one thing. But the other thing I've been watching is The Chosen. Have you guys been watching The Chosen?
I want to. I feel like I should.
It is so good.
Who we are, and
being creations of God and all.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, it's super good. It's really good. Have you watched it, Chris?
Not yet. I saw the first half of the first episode. I thought it was decent.
I feel like I shouldn't be on a video with you guys.
Don't
you're not
spoil
clean.
the ending, Mike. I hate it when people spoil the series for me. You know,
just so everybody knows, if you're not familiar, Chosen is put out by Angel Productions, which is affiliated with VidAngel, which is affiliated with Dry Bar, which we've been working with. But it's the story of Christ, and it's of Jesus Christ, and it's episodic. So it starts it starts when he starts finding his disciples at the very beginning, and it just moves forward from that. But it's really great. I've never seen Jesus portrayed like this.
Wow.
It's way more human. It's really cool. I highly recommend it.
It's not like The Office, right? Like there's not like Mary Magdalene.
They have sidebars.
It's like it's the secretary, and there's like a real will they, won't they?
No, it's not going to will they, won't they.
Jesus goes up to Matthew actually early on and says, "Follow me," on Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. Well, they the show seems really good because, like you said, it just seems like they have a different perspective. Because I know any other Jesus portrayal, Jesus always sounds like he's on the verge of tears, like constantly. Yeah. Like he just sounds so overly soft.
Looking into the distance, everything's very, and they have some of that in there, obviously. But he, in this, he's like joking around with the disciples and kind of they're ribbing each other about little things, and it's just really cool the way they did it.
Wow.
I don't know how accurate it is. It's a fictionalized version of all of it, but it seems I haven't seen anything on there that I thought, well, that's right. Not biblical, aside from the fact that there are things in there that aren't biblical as far as being in the Bible. There's nothing that would contradict what the Bible says, I guess is what I'm saying. Right. So anyway, really, really good. Highly recommend it. Watch The Chosen. The only way to watch it, by the way, is you can watch the first season on the Peacock app through different streaming services. But you can watch all of them for free using the Chosen app on your phones.
Is it free on Peacock as well?
Yes. Well, I don't know, actually. I watched it on Peacock, the first season on Peacock, but we had a year subscription to Peacock.
Oh, gotcha.
So I don't know if it's free or not.
Well, then let me ask this, sir, who is somehow watching a lot of television. On the Peacock app, have you been watching the Johnny Carson channel?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, so wait. You know what? I did watch a couple of the episodes. I was looking it up and they found it on there. Yeah.
The only bummer, because that's the whole reason why I wanted to get on Peacock. And the only bummer is that all of the episodes are just highlights of each episode. So it's like they don't really let you watch the whole thing. It's like they just try to take the best of highlights, and it becomes like 30-minute episodes. But I feel like they just miss a lot. So it's like kind of
a ton, because a lot of what made that show great, the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, was that it wasn't always just a hilarious moment. It was the little things that led up to it, or that's too bad. I really have an affinity for that. I used to watch the Tonight Show with my dad, and I have great memories of sitting down and watching that with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, check it out. I mean, maybe it'll remind you of it. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe that's how the show was. I never watched the original show. Maybe it's just highlights.
30-minute highlights. No, I think, as I recall, it was like an hour and a half originally.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway,
speaking of things that are an hour and a half, What's her name? Is I'm trying to find her name here. What's her name?
The segue is only getting better and better.
Gloria is directing a biopic about the man who is credited with creating Flamin' Hot Cheetos. If you don't know the story of Flamin' Hot Cheetos, it's that like 40 years ago there was a janitor who created them, and then they became like what they are now. But here's things that Frito-Lay says that there's no record of them crediting him or anyone else with creating Flaming Hot Cheetos, and so they're going out against this guy. And of course, he says he's maintained the story for over 40 years, and he says after 42 years, he doesn't understand why Frito-Lay's would be taking the position they're taking. So I don't know. What do you think? How would you feel if you created a mass food that everyone loves, obviously, and then all of a sudden, 40 years later, someone's like, Chris didn't create that.
Well, first of all, I would like to challenge the fact that was 40 years ago. I remember those, and I remember when I would say 25 years ago. I thought they were brand new, but it could very well be. I just didn't know about them for a while.
It says 42. It says they were created 42 years ago. That's all.
Well, they were probably created in his thermos during lunch break, and he didn't tell anybody for 25 years, maybe. I don't know. But it says that this guy, Richard Montañez or whatever, was a janitor at Frito-Lay and became an executive. So I feel like he got his due. He was promoted from janitor all the way up through as an executive.
Yeah.
Huh. But he just wants the credit?
I guess.
Is that what the argument is?
He's maintained that he created Flaming Hot Cheetos as a janitor, and that was what catapulted him to the next level of marketing director or whatever. I guess it's up for debate. None of us were technically there, but
they have flaming hot versions of most of that Frito brand stuff. Mm-hmm. Do you guys enjoy those more than the regular?
Cheetos. I'm gonna say this: jalapeno Cheetos, way better. In my personal opinion,
really,
jalapeno Cheetos would be my favorite kind of Cheeto.
But a janitor didn't invent that one, Josh.
Yeah.
So
where's your support for the working man?
Are you gonna tell me that a multi-billion-dollar corporation is trying to take the credit away from a single man who may have created a thing so they could possibly profit more money? I don't think so. They have billions of dollars.
I challenge your sarcasm there, Josh, and your head bobbing. In that, I think it seems to me that it would be more beneficial to them to have this cool story that, hey, we had this janitor invent this thing and it became a big product for us. That seems like it's a much better story to them than, no, our scientists in a lab invented it. That's nobody cares about that.
Yeah, well, in most companies, what they do is they'll give you bonuses, they'll give you all sorts of stuff if you create or invent something within the company. They give you a lot of really nice flashy things, but then obviously they're still going to take the credit. So it is interesting that this guy is doing it. But I, for one, am so proud of us. While every other show is talking politics, we are talking flaming hot Cheetos. So you've heard it here first, folks. I think we're talking about the stuff nobody else talks about.
if you do want political news or opinion or anything else, I suggest that you tune into anything else. Anything.
Literally
everything and anything.
Everyone else is talking about it.
Everything. Well, I will say this. Flaming Hot Cheetos, when I first discovered them like 30 years ago, I thought they were the most amazing thing in the world. I thought, oh, these are awesome. Nobody else that in my family wanted them. They were too hot. But I loved them. And I think partly because they reminded me, this is nostalgia week apparently. I watched Johnny Carson with my dad, and also Flaming Hot Cheetos reminded me of when I was a kid at a bowling alley in Tacoma, Washington, Tower Lanes. Shout out to Tower Lanes. Anyway, in their vending machine, they had little packets of potato. They're like French fries, but in a vending machine. Yeah, they weren't French fries. You know those shoestring potato things?
Yeah, In-N-Out fries.
Yeah,
I know.
but they had a hot version of those, like a spicy version of those, and I loved them. I used to buy those every time I went bowling over there.
Well, you said it was called Tower Lanes?
Tower Lanes was the name of the bowling alley.
Well, this is crazy. But those things there that you were just talking about, they were invented by a janitor in Tower Lanes originally, and then put in there. So yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting because I heard that Tower Lanes was founded by somebody from Lima.
Yeah, it was Lima or Lima.
Lima. Sorry,
they're from Lima, but they eat lima beans.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
That's what it is. Yeah. There we go. You've heard it here first.
Speaking of lima beans, Matthew McConaughey, Texas governor, huh? What do you think?
All right, let's see. Who has the best one? Let's go. All right. Okay, who has it?
That sounds better than what I could do. All right.
all right.
I think you had it there, Josh.
You got it.
If Brian ever gets out of the bathroom, he could probably.
Yeah, Brian is the impressionist in the group. Yeah, we're super excited to hear that Matthew McConaughey is exploring the idea of running for governor in the Democratic Party. This is my 2 cents. Is that I read an article that Matthew McConaughey does not wear deodorant, and so this would not be the first time that politics stinks. That's stupid. I'm sorry. Who would say that? That's dumb. Anyways, how would you feel if you were in Texas and then you're like, I feel like we become so divided due to nothing but opinion-based television and news that it's hard for me to picture Texas electing a Democratic governor at this point.
Yeah, true.
It's not like, well, I think he'd be pretty good. He's a Democrat and I don't agree with everything, but he'd be pretty good. The MSNBC and those guys have divided us so deeply that unless you're a Democrat, you're not going to vote for him. And there are not enough Democrats in Texas.
Yeah, but what about like at the voting booth? They had a picture of him without a shirt on.
Oh well, sure, that'd change everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what George Washington did. That's how he won. The election. He had his shirt off.
The voting booth. They had photos of him,
but they didn't have pictures, so he actually just had to go walking around the voting booth.
They had drawings.
Right. Yeah. Him and his wooden teeth and bare chest.
And he was like, all right.
Well, I admire Matthew McConaughey because he does just whatever the heck he wants. Yeah. And he's a professor at a college just because he wants to be. Like, he teaches producing. He doesn't even teach acting. He just teaches how to produce at a college in Texas. So I feel like the guy's just going to do whatever he wants. I couldn't see him winning because of exactly what Mike just said. But, I think he would probably have a fairly fun race. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, cool. I think you have a chance, I suppose. I don't know.
It's Texas. So if Matthew McConaughey runs, obviously Joe Rogan has to run in some capacity, right?
They should have a celebrity party. There's like a Republicans, Democrats, and then celebrities. That's what it should be.
That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea.
Because who wouldn't vote for the celebrities? Everybody would.
Yeah, too many.
Just to be stupid.
I think I love the idea of Joe Rogan. To me, is I like his approach to everything because I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff, but at least he comes from a introspective perspective of everything. He doesn't like just go with, oh, that's what my fans are going to want me to say or anything. Mm-hmm. He really has his own opinion and says it. But I feel like lately he's been just trying to keep a low profile. Like, he's got his show and that's a high profile show. So he's got that, but he's like trying not to make any extra noise because he's got enough stuff in his past he doesn't want to get canceled or
his recent episode just got him in trouble. So
which one?
You guys didn't hear? So he was saying on the show because somebody had mentioned to them about.
I didn't hear, Chris, because I was watching The Chosen. Not listening to Joe Rogan.
We were praying to our God, Chris.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, Basically, what had happened was that on his most recent episode, he was talking to somebody, and the guest was saying about how he thought it was really unique and interesting about how he had a friend that's pretty high up in the industry, and this friend was on a podcast, and his friend is white, and he wasn't apologizing, but he was just basically saying like how he is personally offended to listen to white men anymore. And so that's what this guest was saying about somebody else that said it. So then Joe Rogan said, it's crazy because I could see it getting to the point where white men are just not going to be able to speak anymore. And so that's what he said. He said, I can see it getting to that point. Well, then NBC and everybody said, Joe Rogan says that it's difficult for a white man to speak in public, and so they took it out of context because
they lied.
Yeah, he was saying, hey, in the future, and possibly is what he was saying. So yeah, they took it out of context, which was just kind of funny. So he's trying to,
So that's interesting because as crazy as that projection sounds, there is actually I'm trying to find it here. There's a mayor. Is it in Chicago? It's the mayor in Chicago, I think, that that will only talk to black in press. She won't talk to white people in the press.
Really? That's the mayor in Chicago? Interesting.
Yeah. It's her name is Lightfoot.
Oh,
ironically.
Yeah. No, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh,
she got so tired during this past year. If you get a chance, go on Google and just type in all the mayors of every major city and look at how they look at their pictures before the pandemic and look at their pictures after. And
really?
Her hair was all crazy and her eyes were like sunken in and tired. I felt bad for her just looking at the pictures. I'm like, that lady's got a hard time.
Yeah.
So, she's probably like, I only want to talk to people I want to talk to. I'm tired. So,
yeah.
That's how I feel. Listen, we haven't mentioned there's people on the show that have been commenting. Here's the good morning from Dawn. We've been having a lot of great comments. We have a good morning from Nicole.
Oh yeah.
We have here's a nail biter. Good morning from Josh Novey.
All right, Josh, thanks for contributing.
Yeah, you're welcome. I have to contribute somehow to this show. Oh man, what celebrity? Here's a question: what celebrity would you vote for president?
All of them. All of them. I don't care. I'll just do it.
You're like, what makes a person like qualified to run the country, and that is their acting skills.
It's
if
hard
I
to
like
know
their movie.
I look at it like I feel like what you see is not really the real person. It's like my favorite actors are like Tom Hanks and some of those guys. And I think it seems like they'd be pretty good, right? But I have no idea. The guy may be insanely crazy and a nut job, but he's just got great press. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, and the other thing too is when you are a celebrity, you're put in this place, especially if you're like an A-lister, you're put in this place where you can say crazy things and people will just do it. So I feel like it actually puts you in a pretty rough situation to run for office. Like there was this story of Tom Cruise that was in that one movie, Rock of Ages, and Russell Brand was telling it. Tom Cruise is like on the set, ready to film, and he just looks at the producer, and Russell Brand's right there. He looks at the producer and he goes, I feel like this movie needs a monkey. And they were like, what? And he goes, yeah, I want a monkey on the movie. And he walked away, and Russell Brand's standing there, and the producer, or not the producer, but somebody else turns to Russell Brand and goes, watch, we're going to have a monkey. And the next day, Tom Cruise walks in, there's a monkey on his shoulder. And the movie had a monkey for no reason. There's no reason to it. So it's like, if you elect someone like that as president, what the heck? Like, what's going to happen?
Yeah, you know what I need is a nuclear missile.
Yeah, that's
on my shoulder.
Yeah.
If I were to vote for any celebrity, honestly, I think at this point I'd vote for Chris Wineland.
Yeah, I wouldn't vote for Chris Wineland. I would vote for Topher Wild That's my favorite celebrity.
Hey.
I love inside jokes that no one else will get.
I know. I was gonna say you're giving away my alias. I was Topher Wild in Chicago for 4 months. There's probably like 3 Chicagoans that if they watch the show right now, they would be like, "That's Topher Wild." That's it. Three Chicagoans, and that includes the mayor who won't talk to me. But
Yeah.
Nicole has submitted possibly Pauly Shore. Actually, anybody in the Shore family, I think, would be fine.
When I was a kid, so if I ever become a huge celebrity and somebody starts mentioning president, it would be hard for me to turn that down because when I was a kid, I always wanted to be president. But I feel like I would be like assassinated.
So like when I've never wanted to be president, but I did want to become an NFL punter.
Okay, really? It's almost the same.
I was like, I want to be specifically an NFL punter, and then so if I became a celebrity, somebody like, hey, you want to go punt for the Colts today? I'd be like, yeah, let's do it, and then I would die immediately.
When I was young, I dreamt of becoming a rock star, which I have zero musical talent, by the way. These guys will attest to anybody listening. I cannot sing to save my life. But that was my dream, and then secondly, be a comedian.
Really?
Yeah. Which are pretty close. I think rock star and comedian are pretty close.
They are.
Be. Tom Hoy said he would vote for Captain Kirk.
So now we're going to go to fictional being
people. If we were talking fictionalized, Captain Kirk would be great.
I did read recently.
No,
so
he's
this
terrible.
Young guy.
Have you seen Star Trek? He makes terrible decisions. And then he lucks out. He lucks out on keeping mostly everyone from dying. If you're wearing a red shirt, obviously you're dying. Listen, Captain Kirk, I would say this, not a good captain.
No, disagree, sir, because the first 3 seasons are all about him seeing a moral dilemma and choosing to take the right moral outcome, regardless of the regardless.
You know who's a good space captain? The guy who did his job and no one died. That's a good. Captain Kirk's not a good, like Dr. House, not a good doctor.
No, he was an awful doctor.
He's a terrible doctor.
Yeah, that's true. Dr. House.
Well, in an attempt to turn the tide away from Josh's rants against fictional people.
Yeah. Strong feelings about
going back to what your dreams were when you were young, there's a story I read that said a teenager accidentally moved into a retirement village.
I saw that.
So apparently this kid was going to move into his own apartment finally, and he didn't bother going through the viewing that was offered. Like, okay, you can come and view it first and all that. It was all done through paperwork and so forth. So he signs the contract and ends up he's living in a retirement community. This young teenager. It's in Arkansas.
It's a girl. So it's a 19-year-old girl, and she signs everything. She moves in, and she says that she was there for like 3 weeks or close to a month before she realized that there weren't any people her age walking around. And,
I love the picture. It's a picture of her standing in front of the sign with her hands over her mouth in realization. Because I realized I just moved myself into a retirement home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I was reading. She said that it's really nice because she can be a little bit loud and no one can hear. Which is nice to her. And then she also says that she gets a lot of home cooked meals from her neighbors.
Well, and here's the best part. Actually, she may have started a great idea. She's only paying $350 a month for a 2-bedroom flat. What?
Yeah,
I'll do that. $350. I'm moving my whole family. So, we're gonna go hang out with, grandpa and great grandpa.
I'm curious what the neighbors thought when this kid moves in to the retirement community.
I don't know. Well,
hey, you want to come over for parcheesi? No? Huh.
See, they probably think that she's like their granddaughter or something.
They probably do.
Well, I think it's interesting that they approved her because usually they're pretty strict on that kind of stuff, but at least she gets a lot of Jell-O, and hopefully she can stay outside late at night or something.
So this is just a regular apartment complex, but they do have programs in some college areas where they give free housing to college students at retirement homes in exchange for them doing community service within the house.
It's part of the deal where you can bring unadopted pets into retirement homes too.
Yeah. They're pretty much. You become a corgi.
Cuddle up next to some older people just to help them feel comforted. So these guys know on here, but I actually live in a 55 plus community, and you're right, Chris. They're pretty strict about showing proof of age and all that stuff. So I don't know how that all happened, but whatever. There are oftentimes you have residents in your neighborhood that don't belong there. Like this last week in Houston, somebody had spotted a Bengal tiger wandering around, a live Bengal tiger in the neighborhood in Houston. They were freaking out. And I was just reading that it's still missing. They never did capture this thing. The last they saw this kills me. This is the best part. The last they saw it was a man wrangled it into a van, and this man's been identified as Victor Hugo Cuevas, not Chavez. And he's previously out on bond for an unrelated murder charge.
Oh my gosh.
And he was arrested Monday for evading police, who says that this guy loaded the tiger into a white SUV and drove off as officers arrived. This guy's lawyer says no, it wasn't. It wasn't him. And they identified this guy.
Lawyer.
They said they maintain that Cuevas is not the owner of that tiger, who they said was a 9-month-old male named India. So they go, I don't know. He's not the owner. By the way, it's a 9-month-old male and his name's India.
Yeah, no, they were like, he's not the owner of India. And they're like, who's India? Oh, he's the 9-month-old tiger. How would you know that? You know what? We choose not to speak any longer. Yeah, what a lawyer. Well,
good for him for being out on bond on an unrelated murder charge, because
and let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Was that his bond requirements? They're like, listen, we're going to let you out, okay? But first of all, you got to pay your bond. And second of all, tigers.
Right. So first of all, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's not guilty till proven guilty, and it's just a charge of murder. Mm-hmm. But I'm with you, Josh. I love the fact that you're out on bail, which means keep a low profile. Don't do anything wrong. You're on bail. I'll be fine. Hey, look, a tiger.
I know. I don't think that they originally owned the tiger. I think that they saw the tiger, grabbed him, called him India, figured out how old he was.
They named him.
Yeah. Well, so Nate Bargatze, I believe it is, has that really great bit about tigers where he's like, do you know like how easy it is as an American to own a tiger? He's like, I thought it would like take all day or a week to go find a tiger. No, it's just like an hour thing. You just like go outside, like I need a tiger, and people give it to you. It's like there really are. There's I think they said like there's more tigers out here than like most other countries. Like we just have too many. We have tigers, but I've never seen a tiger, outside of the zoo. Yeah. So I don't know.
Well, I guess you're not spending your time in the right places, Chris.
Apparently,
yeah, maybe you should.
All my friends have tigers.
I feel bad for the tiger community because it's like they just want to go to the movies.
Do you mean like tigers and their fellow tigers, or tiger community like Joe Exotic?
No, I mean tiger and their fellow tigers.
Because they're 55 plus tigers who they just want to move into their apartments and be out with other adult tigers, and then some kid comes in.
Yeah, there's a picture of a tiger with his paws over his mouth, and he's like, I just realized I moved in to a nursing home community. That was like the tiger. But no, I feel bad for tigers as a whole because they just want to like walk around. Like that tiger was going to the movies, and all of a sudden a van comes by, and they're like, your name's India, and they just like take you. So it's like that's tough, It's a tough world we live in.
It is.
How dare they assume it's gender? That's the problem I'm having with this one.
Honestly, that's a bad name.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a great name.
There's nothing wrong with the name India. I just mean for a tiger, I would have named him like Blood Killer or something.
Speaking of tigers and great I'm wondering why they've never come out with flaming hot frosted flakes.
Yeah, they should.
Well, because obviously they didn't have the right janitor.
Obviously, Kellogg's needs to recruit from Frito-Lay.
You gotta have the right janitor if you're gonna create these new things.
Well, you know what? Since there are so many tigers, how come Tony the Tiger has never had that as a toy connected to your box? They just say, "Hey, just send back, that top cardboard part of your cereal box, and we'll send you a live tiger,
a real tiger."
Yeah, they seem to be pretty available.
They do. We'll just send you a baby tiger. Tell your parents all you got to do is give us that. I mean, why not?
Hey, kids, do you like nightmares?
Did you guys ever do that? Did you ever take the top
box tops? Yeah,
box tops.
What are they? I can't remember. There used to be this phrase every cereal commercial had it. It said, "And send in 4 box tops to receive a such and such." I don't know if you guys remember, on the back of some cereal boxes, they used to have record albums actually on the box. You would have to pop it out, and it was plastic, and but you could play it on a record player.
Huh. What? I didn't know.
I'll find a picture of it for you guys.
I would love that. Well, here's my question is why? Why did the companies do that? What did they gain from box tops? Was it your mailing address? Like, what did they gain?
I'm sure they got that, but also to encourage proof that you purchased it. I don't know why they didn't include it in the box, because usually it was something small enough you could have. But
probably brand loyalty is what I would.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. I never did it. I've always wanted to, though.
You guys are always like, "Oh, look at me! I was eating Frosted Flakes." We couldn't afford Frosted Flakes when I was growing up. What
was your cereal? What was your knockoff?
Very generic, like not even like the good generic. We had the bad generic cereal.
Yeah, your flakes were called dandruff. That's how knockoff it was.
Yeah, instead of Cheerios, we had what?
Yeah, they had actually, here it is right here. Hold on one second. They it was just a record. It didn't pop out. You had to cut it out with scissors. There it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had to cut it out.
You cut it out with scissors, and then you could just put it right on your record player, and it would play.
That's cool.
Here we come, or whatever from the Monkees. Yeah,
interesting.
Wow. Pretty cool, huh?
We gotta find it. We gotta find a video of somebody actually playing that on the record player.
That would be cool.
Did it sound good, or did it sound like you were playing a cereal box on your record player?
Those old record players, like mine, was not a real nice one, and so everything sounded pretty.
Yeah,
so it was fine, but it worked.
Well,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to move forward and just say.
Go ahead.
One of my favorite parts of what we've been doing lately is informing people of what day it is, and today is International Red Sneaker Day, and as in commemoration of International Red Sneaker Day, I'm going to share a picture, and this is a bit of a tease of something that we haven't announced yet, so we're not going to announce it yet, but I'm showing it because of the red sneakers.
Oh, my red sneakers, yeah.
These Chris's red sneakers. It's International Red Sneaker Day.
I love the cutoff you did. Like, clearly you can see text.
I know.
So look at that. Look at my shoes on that one. I just want you guys to know that my family has been making fun of those shoes nonstop, and
Really?
They said they're old man shoes. And first of all, I told them I've had those shoes for like 7-8 years now, and what do you think? Would you rather I wear red sneakers with
like some sort of hipster?
Yeah, you think I'm some cool cat just walking around with red sneakers on?
Hey.
I love my tennis shoes that I wear, and they're there's no laces. I call them tennis shoes. They're basically slip-ons. They're basically slippers, but I wear them everywhere. And I've been teased about wearing old man shoes, and I said, but they're comfortable. To which the response normally is, "That's what an old man would say."
That's what I say too. Like they're comfortable.
Well, for the photo shoot of something that we won't tell you what it was for yet, obviously, but of that particular photo shoot, you guys were like, hey, what should I wear? And I was like, well, do something stylish, like whatever. You guys all wore the same stuff, and then I came in with these red shoes.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I think in the context of what that was for, I think it's perfect.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
It was well done. It,
Yeah.
it almost looked like the like as you get older, you stop caring what you're dressing like. So
Yeah.
True.
so
I don't know. I mean,
what
I
are
just
the
started
days of today? Let's see. National Pick Strawberry Day. Speaking of red shoes, if you want red shoes, go pick strawberries.
And I would think that would be more of something in the fall. Don't strawberries come into season in the fall?
No,
Maybe not.
Well, no, maybe in Arizona they do, but the rest of the world.
Well, Arizona has two produce seasons every year. There's the fall and the spring. We get, as far as I can see from the farms and such around us, it seems like every fall and spring they harvest produce again.
Well, I didn't know that you could make a national holiday, like a command. I didn't know you could do a command as a national holiday. Because it's like National Pick a Strawberry. They should be like National Go Check on Your Kids Day. National Make Sure Your Car's Locked Day. Like, you're just making a command.
National Pay Your Back Taxes Day.
Yeah, it's like exactly.
Yeah. It's April 16th, National.
It's also National Rescue Dog Day.
Oh,
I'm sure all those rescue dogs are. It says it's not a command though. It's not National Go Rescue a Dog Day.
Like they're not like they don't throw a dog in the lake and they're like rescue dog.
It's also National Quiche Lorraine Day, which, despite popular opinion, that is not an actor's name. Oh, look
if
at
you're
that!
not watching this, you're missing out because Chris just picked up his puppy, who's adorable. Looks like a border collie and a corgi. Is that correct?
Well, actually, disturbingly, that is not Chris's dog. He just went outside and grabbed one.
This is that line. This is a tiger named India. Yeah, no, she's a full-on corgi. Her name's Duchess. Aww. And I feel like Jack Hannum right now. This is corgi, Duchess. But she's not a rescue. We spent too much money on her as a full breed. But my other dog's a rescue. So
you're a half decent human being.
I'm half decent. Yeah.
What other national day is it, Josh?
And it is National Be a Millionaire Day.
That's another command one.
So be a millionaire.
You have to pick strawberries and be a millionaire.
That sounds great. I'm in.
This is a great day for strawberry farmers who are also very, very wealthy.
Very rich.
So this is.
I feel like for our listeners, every listener in a separate state, we should have one listener in each state go buy a lottery ticket from that state on National Be a Millionaire Day and see what happens.
Yeah, and then if you win, you give it to us.
Yeah. I know. I've always I'm sure everybody feels this way. I don't gamble. I don't do lottery tickets or anything. But in the back of my mind, I always think if I do a lottery ticket, I should win. I think that's why everybody does it.
Well, sure. I always put it this way, and this sounds funny, but I always thought if I were to buy a lottery, I wouldn't buy like 5 or 3 or I'd just buy one lottery ticket. And if I win, the only reason I would win is because God has ordained me to win for some reason. And I only need one to do it. I don't need multiple because all I need to do is do my part and get the lottery ticket. And if it's in the cards for me to win, that's the one I'll win with.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you're listening to us on the podcast, I just grabbed my second dog. I have 10. No, I'm just kidding. I only have 2. And this dog is named Chicago. He's a rescue. And he is half corgi, half food eater, just nonstop.
I like your dog Chicago, except for he doesn't take questions from male reporters. So it's.
I like that, and I like that name. What was your other dog's name? I forgot.
Duchess. So Chicago and Duchess. Yeah.
I like how you named your. What about Queen? Why wouldn't you go Queen or?
Why would you go for a lower royalty?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We wanted to go with a city for her because we did Chicago. So we were actually going to do Brooklyn because Micah's family's from New York, but there was somebody that we had started working with, and they were having a daughter named Brooklyn. So we were like, oh man. And so we didn't name Brooklyn, but then a week later, that person left the job that we were working with. And we were like, are you kidding me? We totally could have named our dog Brooklyn. So,
you can change your dog's name at any point.
I don't. She's too much of a duchess now. She would be upset. Yeah. But Queen would have been good.
That's funny.
So, quick comment, completely out of context. June says that's exactly how I got a leprechaun.
I lost the context of that. So she got a leprechaun how?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's better without context now.
Just randomly, June.
Yeah.
I love June. Hey, that's how I got a leprechaun.
I'm sure it made 100% sense. I know it did, or it did. It does. But
June, comment on what the context of that was, because now I feel really bad. Just June randomly. That's how I got a leprechaun. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
maybe
happens
she adopted
sometimes
from a rescue.
Oh yeah. I bet you it maybe it has to do with the tiger conversation. That'd be my guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's thinking we should get flaming hot Lucky Charms.
Yep. I like that.
I don't know. Well, Brian didn't make it out of the bathroom in time for the episode, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure
he
will. Later.
I hope he's gonna light a match in there, and someone's got to use it afterwards. So,
that's funny. So let me ask you this: just trailing back to the beginning, I've been watching The Chosen and failed package delivery videos. What is your go-to video that you go, like if you go to YouTube, what's your go-to? Like, I love these. Like, I love movie bloopers and that stuff.
I would say so. Like at night, this is my go-to at night relaxation. I like watching people build houses using only hand tools.
Really?
Like non-power, nice. Like just like saws.
That's a long video.
Well, it's always series. You like watch these series of people doing it. One of my favorite. There's a guy named Mr. Chickadee. He's probably the best one out there. And there's a bunch of other ones that they just build things by hand and then they record it, and it's awesome. It makes you feel like a man, even though you haven't done anything.
I have seen some pretty cool videos of guys doing amazing woodworking things. There's one channel, I don't know if I subscribe to it, but it pops up every once in a while, and it's a guy that makes tools for his wood shop, but he makes them out of wood and metal or whatever, but it's just other tools for his wood shop that he makes, and a lot of them are really cool. Like, oh, that's very inventive and cool.
I know. Go ahead.
Just that they start out with you don't know what he's making until it's done, and you go, oh, genius, that was a great idea. So anyway,
Macy says go-to video, try not to laugh old people fails. I'm already in. That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I can't watch. I can't. People love watching those, and like remember back during America's Funniest Videos before we had YouTube and all that.
Yeah. Anytime
they'd show an old person or a kid falling or getting hurt, I cringed. I don't know what it is. I could not watch it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you something. You may enjoy this. My favorite go-to on YouTube is to watch people walk into windows. And I don't discriminate. It doesn't matter the age or the whatever.
Okay, that's pure funny no matter who it is.
Yeah. There was one store that kept cleaning their window because they knew people were running into it. So they were cleaning it and they moved the camera just a point right there. And it's like so funny. I mean,
have you ever seen those videos? Guys will set up a camera during a cold winter day in front of their street, knowing that cars are going to slide and crash.
Yeah.
And there'll be like a video, and it's just one car after the other coming down and losing control and sliding into all the cars parked, and they're just cracking up on their balcony. Here's another one.
There's a bridge, and they set up a camera just for it because it's a low bridge and it has all these warning signs, and it lets people know that you're about to hit the bridge, all these trucks, and it's just a compilation of that. And I think that might be my favorite because they have, probably 30 seconds of warning to not go straight, and it's like turn, and then they keep on going straight, and then it's just like, and then the truck turns into a crinkle fry. It's those are my favorite.
That's so scary. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
hey guys, we are just about out of time.
Oh
yeah. What do you guys
wow.
have coming up? Anything coming up?
I have a few shows on the road. I need to get this information out, and I don't even know what they are. But we together are doing Father's Day at Stir Crazy Comedy Club in Glendale, Arizona. You can go to the morninglaugh.com for more information on that. And yeah, we are looking forward to seeing you guys there.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I mean, you took mine.
Other than that, that's all I have right now. Of course, we have big things in the works, but as soon as we're ready to, we will announce that.
So please keep it tuned in down the road. We have some big announcements coming up soon, and hopefully we'll be coming to your neighborhood too. So
as of this summer, I plan on being here in Arizona because the fall I'll be on the road a lot. But as of this summer, I think the wisest thing to do is to be in Phoenix because the weather is just so phenomenal.
It is. If you have not been to Phoenix during July or August, I highly recommend it. It is beautiful. It is
so nice.
Bring a jacket, just in case.
Well, yeah, you want to dress in layers for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And
it's like some cities, it's nice and pleasant and warm in the sun, but then you go in the shade and it's woo.
That's Phoenix.
All right, guys. I think that's it for our show. Thank you so much for everyone listening and watching out there. We really appreciate it. Make sure you go follow us on our Instagrams and our Twitters and our Facebooks at Chris Wineland, at Mike James, at Josh Novey, and at Brian Kohatsu when he's done reading his magazine in the bathroom.
And as our show is actually growing, we're getting more readers. We're getting more readers, which is great. Also, viewers and listeners, please share this with your friends and family and enemies and coworkers.
And cut off our box tops so that we'll give you a free record later.
We'll send you a free plastic record.
Yep.
Yes. All right.